friends and family, towards your son, that energy goes towards computer, and not necessarily to STEM. That computer can be present, but not being the screen that consumes you. So that's what I'm thinking in terms of internal character, is that my internal character is computer, and I wish it will be more of father, husband. What's the main idea of all your projects? Do you have something that you build product or service? Yes. The projects all united, all connected. I'm trying to make them as simple as possible. That's my main goal, to remove all obstacles in front of it and create one narrative. Once there is one narrative, it's much easier to come up with just products. And I'm thinking that no matter how I look at the brand, I always see that any brand can do any product. Any brand can create anything. And that it is interesting to expand the roadmap beyond a focused product to like many different outcomes. And brand itself is the most interesting thing to me. Because if any brand can create any product, then it's like become like a human. You have to find the character. So imagine if all brands doing all products, same products. Every brand can do speaker, every brand can do cosmetics, every brand can do t-shirt, every brand can do a car. Then how you would make them different? So it only comes to narrative design, the story, and that's the most interesting to me. Kind of from the beginning, imagine that any brand is not focused on one thing, but focused on all things, and how to tell the story using those products. In ideal world, for any collaboration, there will be same set of products, almost like, and we'll be able to find the difference in the story and the narrative. Usually it comes from founders, their background, and what they're trying to say. So to me that's very interesting, because from the first sight it might look that if you create a speaker for one brand and a speaker for another brand, it's overlap, but it's not. So I'm interested in creating the same roadmap for every collaboration, but find unique character, not by product segmentation, but by something else. So for example, for OM, we focus on the shape, that they have the iconic shape that they established, and we can work around that shape and what that shape can bring out. So we're not focused on products, we focus on the shape. What's your favorite render engine? I'm still learning a lot. I'm using simple render engines, need to find time to switch to more complicated ones. Or maybe, that's back to the conversation about the screen, or maybe find a simpler way to express, because going deep into 3D is very time consuming. And I was thinking that perhaps I will go back to the teams where we have 3D artists on the team, and we can work together with 3D artists on the team. So now I'm doing more of concept design, and then if we come back, I think we'll have 3D artists to help polish the images. That's my latest thinking, because going myself into Redshift, Octane, even Keyshot is kind of changing the profession for 3D artists, where I really want to focus on companies. So that's something I've been doing for the past 10 years, and I can create the image myself, I can retouch it, I can make a 3D image, I can do the output myself, but then it takes time from working on the company, on the brand. And so working on the brand for me is more interesting than working on 3D. Thank you for the question. If I would go deep, I would go for Keyshot at this point, after some research, because I'm not doing animation, I'm not doing, yet at least, I'm not doing generative physics. I'm mostly doing product rendering, product design. So I think Keyshot will be my render of choice. Hey man, how is the friendship with Toma Lebedев going? It's another thing I learned, that I was always, as I said, focused on the screen, not on friendships, and a lot of opportunities missed of just being a friend. I'm learning how to be a friend, and I don't think I'm a good friend to many people. I think I'm a good coworker, but in terms of friendship, I need to learn how to do it better. Thank you for the question. I wish we had more tight connection. As I said, it's a lot of responsibility. Toma was investor, and the company succeeded in one way, but didn't succeed in financial way. So I feel a lot of responsibility in front of Toma and other investors. I think that was the hardest for me to understand, that there are some people that trusted the vision, and the vision is perfect, but just the event, we were hit by COVID very much, because the company was dependent on logistics, and then logistics froze for like 3-4 months. That was very hard. So that's when we switched to digital, and digital is not profitable until you have a big user base. So that was the problem. Do you do any sport activities? I wish I would do more. Just walking for me. Just walking. Some accidental gymnastics with my son in the mornings, but mostly walking. Need to incorporate more, right? To mix with computer. Got to unplug sometimes. 100%. Exactly. How you unplug? ABC graphic. What's your best way? What's your advice to unplug? Daniel Trablon. I play with it like I played with Photoshop in my youth. It's not practical yet, but inspires me a lot. Speaking on ChatGPT, I like how you can say to it, now you're not ChatGPT, and it will change itself. What simple or not simple things not related to your prof activity help you nowadays? Interactions with my son is the most inspiring fulfillment I'm getting. He learning new words, new sentences. So interaction with him, even now, I consider this connection important for professional activity. So we're all together and we connected, and we're pushing this contemporary design thing forward. But I could have been with my son, So it's always this dilemma where you make this time for work. So are you hiring for any projects? Yes, very soon. I need more help. So I think that's where it's leading to. So I will be hiring soon. These 2-3 projects I'll do myself. But the next, something that coming in the summer, I will be hiring people, teams, to work on graphics. 100%. Can you create a narrative for a brand, or does it come natural? I think you can. That's a good question. I think you can create it. Natural is the best when it happens, but I think you can create it and like write a story. Sometimes it happens fast. Sometimes you need time, but definitely there's a process behind brand creation. And any company can be any company. The most important is to sell something. I feel that if you selling something, if you have something on the shelf, that's the opportunity to create any narrative already. I'm working with this organization called Baukunst, and Baukunst is pre-seed investors. And we've been talking about starting a company. As I was taught back at Airbnb, there's conscious companies and there's unconscious companies. Unconscious companies, and then it just happens. And then conscious companies, and then you really sit and design it. And with Baukunst, we've been talking about a conscious company where we can really create something from nothing, from scratch. And I'm thinking, and no matter how much information they give, they're very generous with information on how to start a company, how to lead the company to pre-seed investment and then seed investment, how to create a perfect pitch deck, and how to frame a perfect vision. I'm thinking that it all comes to sales. The moment something on sale, now you can create anything. You can turn it into AI company, you can turn it into wholesale company, you can turn it into business to business company, business to consumer company, into subscription. It's any company can be subscription, any company can be business to business. Ideally, they're all faucets. So for the next company, I'm just thinking that there will be something on sale, and that's it. That's the easiest way to think about it, and the best way to think about it. Once there's something on sale, and it sounds like very pragmatic, but it's true. Once there's first product on sale, the V0, then it's a company. Before that, it's a conversation. So hopefully soon there'll be more things to interact with, buy something from us. So I'm very proud to work with OM because they have that. They have the amazing foundation. They have products on sale. They have original packaging. So they have original products, and it is possible to turn it into. It's not going to be me. Once again, I'm just helping, but they have their own conversation about how the company can become anything. So sales are very important. Could you please provide feedback on innovative cat furniture? I will take a look. Mikaste Design. Hi, Alice. Where are you? You under the rain or somewhere else? Or under the snow? Thank you, Alena. Hello. Big love from Copenhagen. I love Copenhagen. Most important tool, Photoshop. I love Photoshop. It's for me the quickest. Shimmer. Seymour. The rain. Yes, it's been weeks and weeks and weeks of rain, so we want sun. It's a good question. Reading anything at the moment? Nope. What about you? I wish though. I wish to read more. Do you? Internet is the read. Reading child books, kid books with my son. We're doing Khan Academy. There's this amazing app, Khan Academy, for kids, and we sometimes doing some reading there, basic reading, alphabet. How do you unplug? That's the question. How do you unplug? Spend so much time here. How do you unplug? Curious from health perspective, have you tried cold exposure? No, what's that? Hi, how does your team look like? How do you delegate? Now I'm independent by myself. Usually there would be designer, one more designer with me that can help with work, like two, 3 people. I should have delegated more business, but I still learning how to do it. So for example, Baukunst is asking me to come up with a business co-founder. So someone who can be managing just numbers and just business. So that's a good suggestion. I feel that was missing, to delegate the business part. Do you plan to design anything for children? Yes, 100%. That's the only thing that on the mind, is to design something for children. So that's what we're working on too. Absolutely. A lot of things can be redesigned on a daily. The care, self-care for kids, time organization, routine. Even from a lot of days, one of the greatest feedback was that kids love it. You know, although it was all black, kind of dark, kids love it because it was like Christmas every month. So something around those lines, 100%. Kunst Group, hi. Have you always had a natural vision for things? No. Always work. Even now, I would see sometimes and be like, maybe it just comes, but no. It's same process each time. Same looking, testing, prototyping. There's no shortcuts. This is something I'm learning every day. Lot made me feel like a kid again. Yes, that's thinking. How has your approach to business changed taking care of your own mental health and family? Well, then there was the moment to decide to close the company, the past company. That was the thinking, like my own mental and family, or go full for the company. And I choose my mental and family. So that was a very conscious decision. What's the name of the project you made for Unicorn Watches? So Unicorn Watches, we doing this project. The name is Time Program. There'll be more images soon. I'm receiving some prototypes. It's very exciting. The name is Time Program. They asked me not to publish final design yet, so we want to have some intrigue behind it, but the name is Time Program. Do you promote yourself? I want to promote myself with my work. Thank you for the question, because that's a good question. How do you promote yourself? That's an interesting way to, besides your own work. Going to meetups. What's the current way to promote? I feel like doing collaborations is a good way to promote. But again, I just want work to be speaking for itself. Do you collaborate with Masha in any way? Yes, we're working on everything together. Especially the new company that we consuming. Not consume, what's the word? Incubating, creating. We're doing together. So thinking of the first product now. I think it's inevitable that you work as a unit, and that's great. That's how it's supposed to be. So I think she will be telling more too soon. She's working hard on Kuzia routine to make sure that he has a very strong routine every day, and he has his own schedule, his own things, and that's thanks to Masha. And because of that work, there's a lot of ideas on what can be the first product, what can we do to enhance that, because we're really not treating Kuzia as a child. We call him co-founder. He's one of us and just learning new things. So I like that approach a lot, and I think that's the most important. I feel like I was raised the same way, in a way. So he is aware. He's aware that I'm working. He's aware at the computer. I'm in the same room with him, so he knows that I'm at the computer. That's why I'm thinking a lot about what I'm showing to him, that I'm sitting in front of the screen. So what we're showing to him now is that no, we work with people. We work with people. That's what we do. So the screen time is before we went to full AI. So now it's just necessity, but we work with people. So then I meet with, for example, with OM, we're meeting together. And so he understands that he knows the names, he understands that working with people is our work. Do you have experience performing stress analysis for technical products, or any more focused on aesthetics over render? I'm trying to make an image thinking how it will be produced always. So I'm always trying to make it that it's manufacturable. Yes, that's the most important too. Because as I said, the idea that any idea, any sketch, any mock-up can be taken to the next step of manufacturing. So it's important to think of how it will be done in real life. That's why I'm saying maybe I shouldn't be focused on render so much, but mostly focused on that, because the experience from manufacturing, experience from logistics is what helping to design these products. What thing you would like to create that doesn't exist now? A car. I'm very excited to design cars. A car. How do you go about scale? Well, when something is on sale, you can start to imagine scale. When is your time on sale, then scale is harder. That's why now I'm thinking of scale as a team. So I'm looking to the moment where I will be able to scale the team, so we can have more output. Favorite designers? I would just shout out to Tёма Lebedev. I was just on his website, on their website, and they're doing years and years and years of strong design, only expand. Speaking of scale and design, Lebedev is, I think, one of the best examples how they managed to scale the design studio to become like a corporation with very strong output, using the latest tools, having a lot of people on payroll. So that's a good example of favorite designer and scale in design. Who you want to collaborate with? I would like to work with companies like Apple, Google. I haven't. A little bit with Google, but not much. So I would love to work with big companies to see the process and work with more people, because they usually have more people on the team. So I would be interested to collaborate with big companies, corporate, just to learn more. Hopefully soon. When that happens, then we'll be talking about hiring. What skills and people are most important for you? I think respect to work, and people like work. Sometimes there's balance more to life, and that's admirable too. And in this context of conversation, I respect it. Then people don't really focus on work, but they focus on life more. But I like when people understand the sacrifice and they focus on work too. So being a little bit of workaholic to me is respectful. I like it because it's very conscious sacrifice towards doing something that nobody asked. Like even this conversation to me is nobody really asked us to push this further, and we're doing it. So what parts of lot vision are still relevant? Subscription, I think, is very interesting. Subscription is very interesting. Like subscription that you don't want to cancel. Subscription that is there every month, like a friend, is the most interesting. Still. Right. We'll be heading back. Once again, shout out to OM. They on the show right now. So please check them out. Amazing company. Like the recent post. There'll be more images soon. I'm grateful that I can speak about it. Did you look at Humane? No. Let me screenshot. What does help you not to stop? Beautiful images. Really love beautiful images. Sometimes something comes out from me too, and I love that moment. Then there's a beautiful image. You can show it. You can see how people react. That's the best feeling. What's your point of view of 3D printing? Same as render. I need to get to it. It's the future. 3D printing is the future. You already can see the stack of the future designer. AI to help with 3D, generated 3D, and then printing. That's the future. So I'm not sure I'll be able to get to it this year, but if you're working in the field, we should collaborate for some project. I believe that everything will be okay. I believe that everything will be great. Right, going back home. Back to computer. Looking forward to share more. So that's the reward, is to connect with you, is to be able to talk about it. So that's what keeps me going. I know that one day soon there'll be more images and we can talk about them, and that's part of the collective. So it's very inspiring and very rewarding. Have you ever gotten the cold messages from strangers as Lebedev has gotten from you one time? Yes, sometimes. I try to respond to everyone. I'm trying to respond. A lot of friends was made this way, so no cold messages are cold. to be honest. So please drop a line if you feel it. Not your typical Los Angeles. We had snow a few weeks ago. That was really strange to see. Sun and snow. Is prototyping stage, pre-manufacturing, OEM, work in progress. 1 more month left. There's a preview on the feed and some other things. I will talk later. All the best. Talk soon. Sometimes.